Hello friend, Dallas Cowboy Day is here. Daily news videos from our team. To not miss any, subscribe to the channel, leave your comment, and support this video with your like. Let's go to the video. I found it very interesting to hear Dak Prescott say, "I don't play for money." So if he doesn't play for money, should he re-sign for practically nothing, thereby allowing the team to spend money on other quality players? Jimmy Schmidt, Wichita Falls, TX, Nick Eatman. I think this quote is taking on a life of its own. He's not going to play for nothing, and nor should he. Doc should at least play for a fair amount, at least being in the top 5 or top 10 in the league. The interesting part of his quote is if they get into a situation where he's shooting for $60 million and not signing around $53 minus $55 million, that's where it might look bad on Doc after making this comment. So no, I don't think he should just play for nothing, but you wouldn't expect the negotiation to go too far down the road if what he's saying is true. I think we all know what he's saying, that money doesn't drive him to play a kid's game, but you still have to play the business part of it as well. Fans, and of course the team would love it if Prescott was willing to literally give the Cowboys a big discount when it comes to his contract, but that's obviously not going to happen. Even if he wanted to, the NFLPA, which is looking out for players around the league as a group, a rising tide lifts all boats, you know, and his own agent, who gets a healthy percentage, would discourage it. Maybe I'm being naive, but I do believe that for most players, including Doc, the money does take a backseat when it comes to their motivation and how they value themselves. They work so hard because they want to perform well on the field and win. If they can do that, sure, the money follows, but that's not the overriding factor that fuels them. By and large, no player is remembered for how much money he made. It's the games he won and the accomplishments he achieved. So I do think there is some truth to what Prescott said, but that by no means is going to affect contract negotiations. They may be playing a game, but this is most definitely still a business. Is Williams most underrated Cowboy? Pro Football Focus recently named Sam Williams the Cowboys' most underrated player. In some ways, I agree. He's definitely shown flashes. In other ways, I wonder if he's ever going to reach his full potential. What do you think? Is he the most underrated? If not, who would be your pick? Nick Eatman. I know the underrated and overrated tags get used too often because the question I always ask is, what's his rating then? And who is the person rating them? I think under the radar might be better used for Williams. He's not rated high right now because he really hasn't done anything yet. But now he'll have the opportunity to shine with both Durance Armstrong and Dante Fowler in Washington. Williams should get the chance to play more, and he'll be able to improve that rating. To answer the second question, I would put a few guys in a category of players ready to take that next step. I'd say Osa Adegazuwa, Luke Schoonmaker, and Wanya Thomas are all ready to have their best season yet with a sizable leap. Patrick. I was on the record as naming Sam Williams as one I believed would break out in 2023, but it didn't happen, and for a couple reasons that no longer exist, which is to say he will have all of the opportunity in the world to make good on my prediction, even if it's a year later. He's fast, strong, twitchy with an elite motor and excellent bend off of the edge, and fully has the potential to be a dominant pass rusher in the NFL. But when Dante Fowler was around and still impacting games, and with fewer penalties than Williams, it made it difficult for the latter to beat out the former. With Fowler and Armstrong now in Washington, Williams will get a heavy dose of reps, likely the most he's ever seen, and we're about to find out exactly what he will or will not be for the Cowboys. So is he the most underrated right now? I'd say no, that dubious honor is still owned by DeMarcus Lawrence, and I will never be able to wrap my head about that.